This jarring photograph was taken by American photographer Chris Hondros in Liberia in 2003. Hondros was born in New York City to immigrant Greek parents who were child refugees of World War II. He grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and majored in English at NC State University. While a student at NC State, Hondros was a photographer for both the Technician newspaper and the Agro-Mech yearbook. He covered campus events, including visits from then-President George H.W. Bush and American astronomer Carl Sagan in 1990. One of his earliest examples of photojournalism was a two-part piece in The Technician on people experiencing homelessness in Raleigh for the May 30th and June 13th, 1990 editions of the newspaper, in which he photographed those staying in Raleigh shelters. After earning his graduate degree in visual communications at Ohio University, Hondros was hired as a photographer for Getty Images news services, working in most of the world's major conflict zones of the last 2 decades, including Angola, Sierra Leone, Afghanistan, the West Bank, Iraq, and Liberia. This photograph captures Liberian loyalist commander Joseph Duo, shortly after firing a rocket-propelled grenade at rebel forces at a key strategic bridge in Monrovia, Liberia on July 20, 2003. Hondros captured the moment Duo hovers above the ground with his hands in the air, exulting in his attack. He is centered in the photograph, framed by concrete handrails that continue into the distance behind him. The rocket strike has left the air thick with smoke under a clear blue sky. Evidence of the events leading up to this photo lies scattered on the ground below Duo's feet. This moment captured in time is one of human experience. It is truthful photojournalism that, at the same time, can be conflicting to the viewer. A moment of pure, unscripted joy is steeped in conflict, combat, and violence. Government forces succeeded in forcing back rebel forces in fierce fighting on the edge of Monrovia's city center. Joseph Duo dropped out of 10th grade to join the Liberian army. The Liberian Civil War lasted from 1989 to 2003. This photograph became one of the defining images of a war that devastated a nation and killed approximately 250,000 people and displaced more than 2 million others. After the fighting ended in August 2003, Joseph Duo was out of a job and not able to support his wife and 3 children. 2 years later, when Hondros returned to Liberia in October of 2005 to document the post-war elections, he was determined to reconnect with Joseph. After arriving in Monrovia, Hondros asked his Liberian assistant about the soldier in the image. The assistant drove him to a settlement on the edge of Monrovia. In an article that Hondros wrote for the Digital Journalist in November 2005, he stated that Joseph has been an inextricable part of my life for more than 2 years now, but I'd never known his name, his age, or anything else about him. Neither of us knew the significance of that fraction of a moment, or that it would change both of our lives in ways that are still unfolding. After reconnecting with Joseph Duo, who at that time was 28, they visited the bridge and the site of the gun battle 2 years before. Upon discovering Joseph's interest in going back to high school, Hondros offered to pay his tuition, buy his books, and school uniforms. Joseph has said that by the power of God and Chris, his life turned around and he was able to reintegrate himself back into society. Chris Hondros was a finalist for a Pulitzer Prize for this photograph in 2005. In 2006, Hondros was awarded the Robert Capa Gold Medal, the highest honor in war photography. In 2007, he was named a Hero of Photography by American Photo magazine for his ongoing coverage of the Iraq War. As close childhood friend and fellow journalist Greg Campbell wrote in an essay accompanying the Gregg Museum's 2005 Chris Hondros exhibition, War in Shadows and Light, that there is danger in this photograph is unquestionable. The evidence is in the details. The soldier cowering under cover in the background, the ground littered with shell cartridges, chips of concrete shot off in crossfire, and a sandal abandoned in panic and confusion. As Hondros stated, "The problem with war photography is that there is absolutely no way to do it from a distance. You have to be close." On the morning of April 20th, 2011, Chris Hondros and Tim Hetherington, director of the Oscar-nominated documentary Restrepo, were both killed in a mortar attack by pro-Gaddafi government forces while photographing the conflict in Misrata, Libya. This battle of the Libyan civil war was fought between troops loyal to the government of Gaddafi and anti-Gaddafi rebels over the control of Misrata, the third largest city in Libya. 2 other photographers working with them were wounded in the same attack. Hetherington had tweeted the previous day, "In besieged Libyan city of Misrata, indiscriminate shelling by Gaddafi forces, no sign of NATO." Conflict in Photography, an exhibition of Chris Hondros' work, is currently on display at the Gregg Museum of Art and Design through January 9, 2022. Chris will long be missed by all his friends here at NC State and by the students who knew him.